It seems to me that every time I talk to a new person about Myers-Briggs stuff, cognitive functions, personality types, two things. One, I become more convinced of the correctness of the model. That, it does, it explains human behavior extremely well. It does. And I'm impressed. I'm a little depressed too, because it kind of removes the need for a better model. Requires one to simply. It basically starts becoming axiomatic, and you got to build your model around it, and that's a little annoying. But whatever. I mean, the fact is, it's an excellent tool for understanding yourself and other people, I believe. And anyway, I've been talking to a friend lately a lot about it, and what's interesting is that this friend is a type that I don't believe I've ever encountered before, and that's an ISFP. And what I've discovered is that it's a very difficult type to understand for me at first, for sure. And the reason is because of this cognitive function issue, which is what I want to talk about here. So the principle behind Myers-Briggs is not, we typically think of it as sort of the layman's way of thinking about it, how I've always, or originally used to think about it anyway, is in terms of introverted, extroverted, intuitive, sensory, thinking, feeling, and judging, perceiving. But really, the way it breaks down is that there are two vectors plus a modifier, which is to say, you've got one vector which is decision-making functions, and one vector which is perceiving functions. And each of those can have a status of either introverted or extroverted. So, for example, and then the Myers-Briggs 4-letter types correlate with certain orders of cognitive functions. So as an ENTP, my dominant function, the one that I, it's basically the glasses that I have on. I see everything through this first. Heidi Priebe used an analogy of a swimming pool in explaining this, which I thought was an excellent analogy. Good job, Heidi Priebe, if you ever watch this video. And Heidi Priebe, let me tell you this. If you're not watching my videos, you should be. Okay? I once tried to pull a dick move on her, and I tried to get alpha on her or something, and she fucking smacked my ass down. I mean, I was just like, boom, Anyway, but you know what? The point I made in the comment that I was trying to get all pushy with you about, it's completely fucking true, and you need to address those issues, little missy. All right, your videos are a nightmare. Anyway, yeah, I'm still alpha. Fuck you. Sorry. I go there, but boy, does she understand my type well. She understands all our types well. Yeah. When I read her explanation of it, it resonates with me more correct than other people's explanation of it. So, props to you, Priebe. I got a love-hate relationship with you, my friend, enemy. But hey, I always give full respect. I can't. All I can do if somebody crushes me is just say, "You got me," and I absolutely deserved it, and about time. You know, I mean, what else could I possibly say without just being a complete douchebag? You know, so yeah, she got me. Oh well. Such is life. I can live with that. I like it. It's a fun part of my narrative now. You know? I like getting crushed. It's kind of the exception that proves the rule. Ain't no one gonna roll up on me. What's it talking about? Something not that. Oh, cognitive functions. Right. Well, this is in fact displaying exactly one of the things I want to talk about, which is the way in which that we learn so much more about ourselves when we're actively trying to understand another person. So, one of the vectors in which humanity operates is in along these cognitive functions is on a time vector, which is future, past, or present orientation. And I believe this is sort of a shot in the dark here because I've never actually read this, but I suspect based on how unusual and how unfamiliar this phenomenon is to me, that probably 15 of the 16 types are either past or future. But there is a type that is present, and it is what? Live in. So this is what they mean by live in the moment, huh? That is so strange. And what I realized is I have no idea what that means. Like, I have never for a second lived in the moment. You know? For me, I operate like this. Well, here are future possibilities. I like the way this one looks. If I were to backwards engineer it, the present would look like this. It actually looks like this. If I were to backward engineer this, I go like this, and then do that. And then, of course, I'm a very tactically minded person, so these little pathways that I'm going towards these future objectives may change. The pathway, the routes to get there, right? The objective won't probably change unless new data compels it to. You know, I mean, I am tactically minded more than strategically minded in general. So I like the goal to stay the same, and the way to get there to change. But it depends on the if the tactical stuff requires, like, if tactical reasons require adjustments on the strategic level, then fine. But if not, then I'm thinking like, well, that strategic stuff should have been done in advance. We shouldn't be addressing that kind of big picture issue now while we're on the battlefield. But other people have like, if you're a J, if you're an ENTJ, I believe you've got the opposite perspective. That you are going to be like, well, these tactics are consistent with our strategic goal, and you need to make sure that your tactics are consistent with that, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, you worry about, is the goal the same? Yeah? Okay. These are tactics to me. I'll get us there. You gotta give me some time to waddle around in here, alright? I'll figure it out. ENTJs and ENTPs, I suspect, generally speaking, should get along fine, though. Because I think they have that slightly different domain thing going on. You know, Wheeler's the ENTJ, and I get along well with him. I find him funny, and this because as a P, I find rigidity strange and funny. Like, not that Wheeler's rigid at all. Wheeler's an absolute genius. So I mean, please, never in my life will you hear a ill word from me about that man, because he impresses me. He impresses the living hell out of me. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about him. He already knows all this stuff. I've told him this before. If anything, it's probably a little awkward for him, but you know, I say what I think. That's what I do. Man, I pissed off a friend yesterday. That was a mistake. I got, you know, this is the thing though. When you are fighting on too many fronts simultaneously, or when you get too ambitious in your tactics, they become less targeted. They become less surgical. And occasionally there's collateral damage, friendly fire. And sorry. One of the problems is when I'm engaged in a full-scale maneuver, I am not quite able yet to both go full beast and stay full cool. I haven't figured it out yet. I think I need to adopt some of the wisdom implicit in a present focus rather than a always being in the future. So these cognitive functions, I have introverted sensing as my weakest function. Introverted sensing tells us that the future is going to be like the past, and that we can use the past to accurately predict the future. And they're the type that is most likely to assume that past results indicate future outcomes. And that's the type of personality I would be least likely to get along with, because I'm somebody who's dominant in introverted sensing will be very traditionalist, very conservative, very opposed to change and chaos, and wants things to repeat over and over again. I'm the exact opposite. I do not like things to repeat over and over again. Ideas, stuff that you do. I on the other hand, I'm not somebody who's flighty in his life relationships in general at all. I tend to be a very I have a small core inner group of people I trust, and that doesn't really change. And once you're in forever, unless you really, really F up. I mean, I'm not saying like statuses of people's relationships with one another change, right? Um, my relationship with my second wife is she's still part of my inner circle for sure, and that's never going to change because neither of us did anything to the other person that was evil or wrong or bad, or we didn't betray each other's trust. That's why. So, I mean, things don't have to necessarily stay the same for a person to be still in my inner circle. But outside of that little area of close relationships, I like everything to change all the time. I mean, not my spatial environment either. Really, I don't necessarily want my spatial environment to change, but I mean, I want to be talking about different things, thinking about different things, trying to grow. This is notorious for my personality as well. Apparently, is that we see things as very much a linear progression. That I need to. I'm working. I'm better than I was before, and I'm going to get better still, and I'm going to learn more things, and I'm going to, and if I'm not improving, then I'm doing something wrong. Like that kind of thing. It's funny because we assume these qualities are. I mean, it's just attribution bias in another form, but it's like we assume these qualities are justifications for assigning legitimacy statuses on various criteria. So, like, somebody might say about me in a positive way, oh, he's a hard worker. Or somebody might say to me in a negative way, oh, he's totally unreliable. Well, what they're really saying is, I don't understand and I'm impressed with this manifestation of the ENTP personality, or I do understand and respect this manifestation of the ENTP personality, or I understand and don't respect that other manifestation of the ENTP personality, or I understand and don't respect that other, or I understand and maybe feel bad about, that other thing. I mean, the point is, people manifest these cognitive functions in a lot of different ways, and which ones you're manifesting and how another person responds to those is going to primarily be a function of the relationship of their respective dominant cognitive functions. So let's imagine that each cognitive function can have a manifestation that annoys 99% of the other 15 dominant cognitive functions. I mean, like, the other 15 setups, no, the other 8, the other 7 dominant cognitive functions. So there's only 8 possible dominant cognitive functions. And it's, extroverted sensing, introverted sensing, extroverted feeling, extroverted intuition, introverted intuition, extroverted thinking, introverted thinking, extroverted feeling, introverted feeling. Those are the 8 possible dominant cognitive functions. So, what I'm saying is, if I am extroverted intuition, like I am, then the most annoying, like, you could envision a highly, highly annoying manifestation of that, where somebody starts telling a story, right? Starts going like, so I was in Paris the other day, and I was visiting the Eiffel Tower. I was going down this one street. It was just like a straight street, and it went like to this part of the circle. I goes, oh, you know what? It just occurs to me that they designed Paris in this fashion because they have a circle in the middle like this, and it's a series of spokes out. Now this is going to provide a higher degree of if you do like something like that, right? That nobody wants you to explain to them exactly the reasonings that you've deduced that the architects must have had, or the city planners must have had in mind when generating this design. Nobody wants to hear that. But if you are leading with extroverted intuition, like I am, that there's a good chance that your first instinct is to do that. Okay? Now, what's funny is that's a terrible example. No. That's thinking. That's my second. This is a good demonstration, though. We all, apparently, and I believe it, the more I think about it, I'm like, oh, that's so true. We think of ourselves first through our secondary one. My secondary one is introverted thinking. What I just described was introverted thinking. It's just like they say, man. It's weird. I read this stuff and I go, oh my God, that's so right. I do actually lead with extroverted intuition, not introverted thinking. But extroverted intuition means when I'm encountering stuff, my first thing is projecting out into the future. And not experiencing it as resonant with the moment, but experiencing it as resonant with possibilities. Then, and that one, it's hard to imagine a super annoying manifestation of it, because this, but although I know people do get annoyed by this, I've had plenty of people get annoyed by this. So I can't just say, you're looking through me again. She hated it. It means she said something that caused me to run out the extrapolation chains. And I'm in my head doing that. And not listening to her anymore, because listening to her is the present. And I am busily involved with the future right now. It's a weird state to be in, if you think about it. Probably why I talk so much. Probably why I make so many videos and stuff. Is because it allows me to do both, right? Maybe not. Yeah, it does, I guess. Like, I'm in the present right now, but I'm talking about abstract models, and I'm understanding those abstract models by doing sort of like hypotheticals or conditionals about the future. Like, well, and this is, it doesn't necessarily have to be even about the future, but it's about extrapolating out. That's what it's about. Extrapolating. You know, I mean, more than anything else, that's what it's about. Because you go, okay, well, if that logic applies, then blah, 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 and we can't have those axioms undermined, because if we had those axioms undermined, then blah, 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 blah. Well, this process of conditionality, the then part isn't necessarily in the future, but it is the consequent of the conditional. It's not the antecedent. I think that's really more like what the vector is in future past. It's, are we dealing with most people are dealing with the antecedent, or they're dealing with the consequent. And there's this very thin sliver of the population that seems to exist where the backwards horseshoe is. Just like, well, are you the antecedent or the consequent? And they're just kind of magically in the moment. It's strange. It's appealing, I gotta tell you. It's really appealing. Somebody like me who has trouble staying in the moment, it's appealing. Anyway, so as far as the understanding the cognitive functions things go, if you are, I already talked about the N one, right? Now, Heidi Preeby, if you just start watching this video and are still watching this video, you have ample stuff to criticize here, right? Because I'm kind of rambling on and not very focused, but you know, so I get super alpha dominant-y, like competitive and stuff, but my bad, dude. Like, you know, you got me, and don't get me again, okay? Just nah, I give up. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, right. Cognitive functions. If you forget your dominant, like if you have an introverted dominant one, it doesn't necessarily mean you're introverted. So, if you had, well, maybe it would. I don't know. I don't understand it super well, but like let's say you have introverted feeling as your dominant function. Well, then you're primarily a values-driven person, and you're going to be more. You're going to be deeply and quietly, and not displaying spiritual, probably. And not talk about it, and not be interested in it for any reasons other than purely intrinsic ones, which is, you know, and that's the other thing is I think these individuals with introverted feelings are likely to be more intrinsically and less extrinsically motivated. So, but regardless of that, another possible one, you get extroverted feeling. If you have extroverted feeling, then you're all about I don't know. I don't remember that one. I know that if you have I wish I could look it up. I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to research more, so maybe I can take some notes. I'm going to make another video later that's not just me rambling on about the two interesting things I did talk about in this video, but where it's more of a detailed analysis of the whole thing. Because, you know, there's a lot of rich ore to be mined here. A lot of good meaning to be gleaned from the gleaning machine. So if you like gleaning and you like cleaning, then you're gonna love machine and cleaning machines. Join us at Machine Shop class tonight for machining. Join us at Machine Shop class tonight for a special session of machine. What was it? I don't even remember before. Let's go back and watch it. 30 minutes of nonsense. 30 minutes of nonsense later, I have to go to the bank and pull out a lot of money to pay for this tournament tomorrow. Anyway, whatever. I got a plan in place anyway, and I'm sitting on a lot of cash that I'm allowing to be drizzled out to me at the moment, but I think I have to put a stop to that. So, I mean, it's not a lot of cash, but it's a lot more liquidity than I have at the moment. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I gotta go to the bank. But I do want to take some notes on this, and I'll follow up with another video that's more actually useful or efficiently organized or something like that. And my little stabber. Probably, I wonder if I've been like stabbing myself with this the whole time. Huh? I think it's got a little scratchy feeling to it. This is so ridiculous. Why anybody would ever want to see you doing that to yourself, Eric, I do not know. But I got a little habits like that. Meh. I like change. I'm an ENTP. Have a great day, everybody who happened to watch 30 minutes of this video. Thanks for watching. You're really bored, I guess. Or nice. Or care about me or something. I don't know. Yeah, I got a lot of shit to do. I'll see you later. Bye.